Well, it looks like the Crimea crisis is now boiling over. The Russians are accusing Ukraine of terror attacks and spying. This story comes to us courtesy of Simone Osborne for the Express UK, who reports that the Federal Security Services, or the FSB, said that Ukrainian special forces were poised to launch terror attacks against strategic infrastructure targets in Crimea. Now, Moscow stated, they're stating here that an FSB operative and a Russian soldier were killed in the violent clashes, and that security had now been stepped up in coastal areas that are popular with tourists, as well as key infrastructure sites and along the border between Crimea and Ukraine. Now, they state here that an FSB official is quoted, "The aim of this subversive activity and terrorist acts was to destabilize the socio-political situation in the region ahead of preparations and the holding of elections." Now, the article also goes on to reinforce the idea that Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine in 2014 in a brutal operation that triggered U.S. and EU sanctions. Now, they also state that Ukraine believes that it wants the strategically important peninsula back, but Moscow insists the matter is settled and closed forever. FSB chief said that one group of saboteurs was tackled in a weekend operation which left one FSB agent dead. They said that the homemade explosive devices, ammunition, mines, grenades, and specialized weapons commonly used by Ukrainian special forces were seized during the operation. They continued that the officials said the FSB had dismantled the Ukrainian spy network in the process and detained Ukrainian and Russian citizens. So, this is a serious escalation in Ukraine. Now, as you know, the United States has been training Ukrainian soldiers. We have NATO troops there as well doing the same. And of course, the activities in Crimea have triggered a lot of nervousness. Of course, the call for a buildup in the Baltics by NATO troops, which of course in turn has triggered the Russian response, the asymmetric response, when they say, well, we're not going to be recalling all of our Balkan states. No, we're not going to do that. You guys are foolish. Some surmise that that is simply a method to justify the defense spending, the defense contracts, to increase defense spending, of course, with the trumped-up threat of Russia. Now, of course, Hillary Clinton and other Republican neocons, they love to target and claim that Russia is the threat. Of course, Donald Trump, his foreign policy is quite different, and he actually wants to have dialogue and communication with Putin, which is something I think we do need to stabilize relations and have more peace in the world. So what are your thoughts on the escalation in Ukraine? Comment below, subscribe for updates if you like what we're doing. Give us a thumbs up and share this report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.
Badass shirt now available. Link in the description.